Welcome to our last part in playing over changes in this particular series, A minor to F, although those of you who will have watched these various segments will see we've turned over a few stones and lots of things have run out from that, and they're all good things. Just thinking about how to play over our bluesy seventh chords, or dominant chords, as we will come to call them in the fullness of time. So what I'd like to do in this particular section is just to round up really what we've been up to, where we've got to, and what that means essentially. So what have we been up to? We've been starting from a position where we could play A minor pentatonic straight through A minor to F. We've then introduced the idea of possibly playing a natural minor scale if we're assuming the F is going to be an F major seventh. The other possible route is to say, well, what if it's an F seventh? And that led us down a few different paths as to things we could use, using our passing note to voice one of the main guide tones in that change, using our A minor pentatonic, moving that up 3 frets and playing C minor over the F, which gives us an F ninth. Now, one interesting point about this is, if no one's playing the seventh, what do I do if no one's playing a seventh? I don't know whether it's F major 7 or it's F7. Well, then you have the choice to decide, don't you? If no one else is playing the seventh, you can still put that in if you want. I suppose the real question is whether or not it will be relevant to what you're doing. And if you really are not sure, if you're in a gig situation, if you're not sure, discretion is the better part of valour. If you're in a rehearsal situation, then experiment away and see which one sounds best to you. But anyway, just another little point then about that. In addition to thinking about how we might use different chord construction to our advantage, top half of a ninth chord being G minor if you're in C, and if you're in F, top half of an F ninth chord being C minor. We also use the idea of thinking of chord shapes and how those might work. Now again, this is yet another way you could look at playing that change between A minor and F. So here's a little line which I'm going to play. Okay, now that's not particularly musical, I don't think, because it's spelling it. It's a bit like reciting your alphabet, isn't it, instead of making up a word. But at this particular point, it's important to understand what we just did there. We've had whatever going on in A minor, something's happening. Yeah, and there's our F9, or that's another opportunity. This is a nice little ninth chord you can play up there, and here's a little diagram for you. This is one we covered in a previous series. I forget which particular chord it was over, as in where the ninth chord was. But the idea of this is you're playing in an E shape, and you can see and hear that ninth over the top. So we've now got this raft of possibilities, and I think where we've got to is this marvellous position really where we've got all these choices available to us. We can combine all of those ideas together, mix and match as we want to go, and it's how you mix those together that really defines your playing. That's what gives you your style. How do you mix up those references? How do you use those harmonies? So that's really where the great freedom of this comes in. Now, just a final note on this, and this is really the most important thing. I don't mean it's the most important thing in the universe ever, but it's certainly such a massive thing really. We've gone from a situation where somebody gave us 24 bars of playing over A minor to F. We're going, oh God, what do I do with this? I think it's probably quite likely that a lot of people will, faced with this situation, go and buy a new effects pedal, or possibly change strings, or get a different amp, or get a reverb unit of some sort, whatever it happens to be. The real answer to making this interesting and colourful is down to what command you have of the possibilities that are there. So really what we're getting at here is we've gone from a situation where someone gave us 24 bars to play over A minor to F. Instead of going, oh God, what am I going to do? You're going to be thinking, God, I wish I had another 24 bars to play over. Well, look, that's about it for this particular series. We're looking at more chord sequences. As I said, these crop up all over the place, and that's the point of them. We're looking at chord sequences which you will come across. Anyway, Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this series. It's certainly opened up quite a few doors musically, and it makes you realise that, you know, the possibilities when you really put your mind to it with playing can be endless, but it's equally important to be tasteful about what you play. Play nice stuff. That's what you're supposed to do. Yeah, or nasty stuff if it's a nasty thing. But basically, play something that's relevant, and don't get too carried away with mathematics and all that stuff. You really want to be hearing, making the guitar sing. Really, that's the idea. Anyway, so that's enough for now, and I'll be back, I think, with series. I think it's going to be series 7. Can hardly believe it. Okay, I'll be back with series 7, I think, fairly soon. So all the best for now. Please hit the subscribe button if you could, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now.